With us on set is Vivian C. Hardison, and she's a woman who has the prescription for peace. Welcome to the show. How are you?
Thank you, Donna. I'm honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
What is the prescription for peace? What does that mean to you?
I can tell you one phrase. The only way you're going to have outer peace is you must first have individual inner peace. It's very simple. It's a very, very simple concept, and it really evolved because my whole life was about trying to find my own inner peace. And most of my life was spent following what I call the rules, doing what other people told me to do rather than listening to my own inner wisdom. And I decided that one day I'd had enough. I had a conversation with God. In fact, I had a shouting match with God because it was His fault, because I was so miserable.
That your life wasn't working the way that you wanted it to.
I dotted my I's, I crossed all the T's, Donna, but it still wasn't working.
And now today you are an abundant life coach.
Yes.
What does that mean? You added the word abundant. First time I've heard it expressed that way.
Well, when I actually went through a coaching process myself, in the process of trying to figure out which way was going to work for me. And while I had a coach, my coach kept saying to me, "You should be a coach." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She said, "No, you're so good at this." And I had no idea what she was speaking of. It wasn't until I was going through my own self-discovery that I learned that I really, really had a gift. I had a talent, not for talking per se, but for listening to the heart, the things that people weren't saying, the things that the heart was speaking to me. And so my life evolved into finding more abundance for myself. So I'm not just a life coach, I'm an abundant life coach, working with people who really, really want more.
Later years, you decided to go get your master's in psychology.
Yes.
Tell us about that journey, because that was a big risk that you took on yourself.
It was a tremendous risk because I didn't know if I was going to be able to succeed. So the first thing I wanted to do was to figure out, well, who would have me? Because I was not a top student. I attended the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, a very prestigious school. I did graduate, although my guidance counselor told me I never would or never could because, in her opinion, I was nobody and nothing because my parents were nobodies or nothings. And so I sort of felt like I wasn't good enough. But I still persevered and I graduated. And so 41 years later, I felt that, you know what, I really can do this. I really am smart. I really am good enough. So I checked in with the universe. Where should I go to school? I was told where to go. I applied to the school, but they took me on a contingency basis because my grades were so bad.
Okay.
And
they said, we'll let you in, but you better do a good job.
You better make at least a B.
Okay.
Well, I made an A and never stopped making A's since. I graduated from the program and within 1 year at the top of the class with my master's degree in psychology. And the reason I chose psychology, Donna, I think it's important for your listening audience to know, is that I discovered that there's a disconnect between what's being taught and practiced in the field of psychology and what's really making a difference in people's lives. And I was determined, as an abundant life coach, to fill the gap.
As an author, because you've written several books, and as a life coach, an abundant life coach,
yes.
Tell us why you feel like it's the journey that matters the most.
Oh my goodness. The reason it's the journey that matters the most is because it's like a butterfly. A butterfly isn't born a butterfly. It must first be a caterpillar, going through a process of metamorphosis. And once it goes through the metamorphosis and breaks out of the cocoon, then the journey really starts to unfold for it, just like the wings of a butterfly. And if people would just learn to enjoy the journey, because it's not about the destination. It's not an end point. We didn't come here to get it done. We came here to have joy and to expand and to live, to love, and to leave a legacy. And that's all in a journey.
Now, I have the name of your book on my card here, so I'm just going to read it because I don't want to mess it up, because it's a very important title. The Benefit of Daily Meditation.
Restoring inner peace and balance.
Restoring inner peace and balance.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Tell me about this book.
Yes. So what you're holding is what really is what we call the book teaser, is what's in some of the snippets that are in the book. And this came about two processes. One, in order for you to have outer peace, you must first have inner peace. That can only happen if you learn to love yourself unconditionally, if you learn to have self-respect and self-appreciation. Because when you do that, what happens is your natural state of inner peace and balance will naturally rise to the surface, just like a cork does when it's on the water. If you don't hold it down, it will naturally float to the surface of the water. And having had that, your inner peace will be exhibited in kindness, love, and respect for others. You do nothing to hurt yourself, and you do nothing to hurt others. The meditation piece works like this. There's lots of scientific data out here to show how and why meditation works. Meditation has a power to quiet that ego mind, the noisy ego mind that lives in fear, so that you could access the peace that's your natural state of well-being.
Do you see similar issues for people and challenges that they're trying to triumph over in the like maybe 40 to 60 age group? And what are some of those common challenges that you witness?
They have the same challenges they had at 40 as they did at 20, and that is most people have no clue who they really are. Most people don't know the inner peace, well-being, and balance is your birthright. You don't know that because we've been so programmed and conditioned to find answers all outside of us, not realizing that the answers are within you. But you have to quiet the mind in order to access that. And so the young people are having challenges just like the older people are. And you're never ever going to overcome them until you learn to recognize who you really are and what you're here to do.
What's one of your very favorite quotes in life that that just resonates with you?
Life is supposed to feel good, period. And if your life doesn't feel good, you have the power to change that by changing the way you think. There have been many authors who said that if you can get a person to change how they think and change their perspective, their entire life experiences will change in the process. And that's what I teach through my coaching business, and it's absolutely what I teach through the process of meditation. Sometimes, Donna, it's just a simple process as just breathing. Take in air, just breathe, the breath of life.
And for me, one of my favorite quotes is, what would you attempt in life if you knew you could not fail? So very similar. So sometimes,
Yes.
you know, when I'm going through the process of life, it's nice to have those mantras. It's nice to have those truths. It's nice to share with another person that's on a similar path and journey,
Yes.
so that you can kind of resonate with each other. And you can be like, oh yeah, like, well, what about that? Or how you feeling today? And checking in with somebody. And not on a surface level, but on a deep inner peace type of level. So I was really excited when I first met you. I was like, oh, Vivian. I'm like, I get you. I'm like, I really like you.
Thank you.
So you're doing a ton of things. You're
yes.
writing books. You're doing some motivational speaking. You got some events coming up all over the country.
Yes.
So tell us about that city tour.
We're getting ready to do a 9-city tour, and we're starting in the city, or I should say the borough of Brooklyn. That is my base at the Marriott, the New York Marriott at the Brooklyn Bridge. And
That's gonna be fun.
It is at that pre-launch that we're introducing the prescription for world peace and helping individuals find their own individual inner peace, because peace cannot be achieved by just a peace treaty or by a piece of paper and shaking your hand. There must be some real transformation or change that emanates from the inside of the individual versus on the outside. And once you achieve that, one person at a time, we can achieve world peace.
One of the things that I also enjoyed learning about you was your journey, and the fact that you did go back to school, and that things haven't always come easy for you. Because a lot of times people will put up, oh, I'm a life coach now, I'm a life coach, I'm a life coach. And you look at them and you're like, well, yeah, but what have you been through?
Oh my
you know?
goodness.
And so I wanted to just tell you and our audience, I wanted to thank you and celebrate you.
Thank you.
And to say congratulations on all that you have overcome, all that you are continuing to achieve, and the fact that you're so willing to share that knowledge with others makes you a huge success in my book. So,
so much.
I thank you, Vivian, so much for being here.
I just want to remind your listening audience that you only get to keep what you're willing to give away. Yes.
Thank you so much.
Welcome. Thank you.
Vivian C. Hardison, go check her out. She might be coming to a city near you, or you can go to her website for wonderful blogs that she writes. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
If you're in the New York tri-state area, or if you want to fly in and you liked our last guest, Vivian C. Hardison, she's coming to the Marriott. Check it out. It is going to be on November 11th. That's right, Veterans Day. You don't want to miss it.